Hi, everybody. It's Georgia Rose from Zencuda, and welcome to the Soul Space. Monday night at 7 o'clock, I'm always here. Today, I'm pre-taping the Soul Space because in the United States where I live, tomorrow is November 11th, and it is a holiday, Veterans Day. So everyone at the studio here at Strong Island decided that we were going to actually tape our shows in advance so we could have a day off. Isn't that amazing and wonderful? And we give Bobby Lacera, our beautiful producer, a little rest, which I think we all could use. So today I'm going to talk about the full moon in Taurus, which happens on Friday, November 15th. And I'm also going to do some card pulls for each zodiac sign. We'll do all the elements. I'm just going to set my little timer here because when I'm home, I don't have the studio, the big clock in the studio. And so I don't know how much time I'm using, and I have to keep the show a certain time. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. If you find my content on my social media at Zencuda Soul Space and also Zencuda Official on Instagram or on my YouTube channel, Zencuda Meaningful, and you want to share it, please do. And also, everyone is more than welcome to share this show. And, if you think it's going to be meaningful for someone else in your life, please do. So I would love to talk to you today about that full moon in Taurus. But before we do that, I have been addressing a lot of the energy in the world to do with the United States elections. And this past week in the United States, we had our elections and we have a new president-elect, Donald Trump. A lot of people are surprised by this news, and a lot of people are not happy about it, and others are very happy about it. But whatever your politics are, as you know, in the soul space, I try to stay out of any political controversy or conflict or even endorsement. In the soul space, we talk about our soul energy, and the soul really isn't that concerned with who is in politics. The soul is more concerned with how we live our lives and how we react and act in our lives and how we evolve. That being said, I do want to just address the energy because, and this energy, again, totally unbiased. But we are in a season right now, astrologically, not just, of the seasons in the world, but where the cosmos are and where the planets are, we have some aspects coming up that a lot of change is going to take place between now and the second week of January, which, as you know, we have an inauguration in the United States for our new president. And I've made a few uh, declarations, I'm going to call them. They're not really comments or opinions, declarations about the energy in regards to that. So just, really kind of stay grounded and centered in yourself because we do have a lot of changing energy coming up and a lot of instability. No one knows what's really going to happen, but I can tell you that with Pluto in the last whispers of Capricorn and this particular full moon at 24 degrees of Taurus, with the sun at 24 Scorpio, which is ruled by Pluto, we have a lot of energy right now that's unstable and changeable. Pluto in that last whisper of Capricorn is tying up the energy that was the archetype of these times from 2008 to now, and were the themes that we saw. The destruction and the crumbling of a lot of structure, financial, right? Taurus, this full moon in Taurus is also a lot to do with financial things and our food supply and things like that. So you want to make sure that you're staying grounded in the themes that have been a big deal for you during these 2008 to 2015 years. Pluto in the chart is our soul and our soul's desire. That's why I talk about Pluto a lot in my podcast. I'm an evolutionary astrologer. We believe Pluto really rules the chart. In some aspects, it's my belief it kind of rules our world. But since 2008, Pluto in Capricorn has shown us certain themes, and it's shown us certain themes in our own life, depending on where that is in the chart. If you'd like a reading, you can go to senguda.com. In my particular chart, it's been a tremendous amount of second house issues, which are not only the things we value, but it's also the conditioning that forms our way that we preserve ourselves or go into self-defense or self-preservation mode. So I've had to deal with a tremendous amount of fear in my life and overcome that fear the last 15 years to find out what really makes me stable and pivot from using outside resources to create my stability to using my inner resources to create my stability. And that's really why the soul space was born, because I really believe that if we are connected to our soul space and grounded and stable in our own agency and authority, then whatever is happening in the world becomes almost a subplot for our life, not the main event. And so my advice for these next several weeks from November until I'd say, January, the end of January, and then on, we have other energy coming in after that. But right now, the weeks that I'm talking about, very changeable energy, very unstable energy. And, what's the purpose of instability? Instability happens so we can change things. That's why these last few weeks, I've been trying to do a series or attempting to do more of a series within the content of Soul Space about changing your life and creating a new life, because the energy in the cosmos are really propelling us and supporting us to do that. So it really works out very well, this timing, if you are someone who is looking to make the best of 2025 and beyond, come into your full potential, totally let your soul bring you where you need to go, and allow yourself to be in the energy of change in a very brave way. So now we get brought into the energy of the Taurus full moon. And this Taurus full moon is at 24 degrees of Taurus. It's got some very interesting aspects happening to it that mirror things that have happened previously this past year, which I'll go into. But the first thing I'm going to say about this Taurus full moon is it's a super moon. It's the second super full moon we've had in a row. What is a super moon? A super moon is a moon energy that's bigger, broader, more intense, and comes into our energy field in a much more potent way because the moon is closer to the earth. If you go outside, you can probably really see this full moon to be, it'll feel like you could almost reach out and touch it. It'll be very beautiful if it is indeed clear skies where you are. I've even noticed as I've taken my walks and gone out during nature in the day that the moon is visible in daylight right now where I live, which is really an indication of how close to the earth and how powerful it is. So some really beautiful energy coming in. What are Taurus themes? Taurus themes are money, finances. Taurus themes are also what I just discussed about my second house and Pluto being in Capricorn, because in the natural zodiac, the second house is Taurus. In your chart, it may be something else. Like in my chart, Taurus is the sixth house, which is daily life, working, health. So wherever Taurus is in your chart, this full moon is going to affect something. Taurus is money. It's the things we value. It's the way we preserve our self-defense mechanisms. It's the way that we were brought up to be conditioned to be self-preserving, the things that we're conditioned to think stability is. Taurus's opposite polarity is Scorpio. Scorpio is an energy that reveals things. It brings us truth in a very deeply soulful way in our own personal truths, not like Sagittarius, which is about the deeper meaning philosophically of life and our personal truth. Scorpio brings up truths in order for us to understand betrayals, in order for us to understand abandonment, in order for us to understand deep, heavy, Plutonian, soulful things that are in the vaults, locked in. And if it seems like I talk about this energy a lot, it's because we've been locked in this energy now for a good 6 months in the universe, with Pluto in the last degrees of Capricorn, bringing up the last coffee grinds, the last dregs of the cup. And so with this full moon in Taurus opposing the sun at 24 degrees of Scorpio, just as 4 days before Pluto is going into Aquarius. Pluto is in like the final whispers of Capricorn, dredging up all of those things that are our soul's desire, the things we don't want to look at, the things that we avoid, dredging them all up a final time before it goes into Aquarius. That happens on November 19th, 4 days later than this full moon in Taurus, opposing the sun in Scorpio, ruled by Pluto. So we have all this deep Plutonian energy, the soul's desire. We're feeling it. We're feeling that we want truth. We're craving truth. We are craving creating truth in our own life. And that's why it's a perfect time to create change. I'm not saying we won't be without fear. We're always fearful when we have to go to change. But in this energy, the universe is making us kind of uncomfortable and making us see the things that we can no longer tolerate. These are the things that we have to outgrow. These are the things we're afraid to outgrow. Where are we allowing our fear of the loss of our own innocence, the fear of facing truth, stagnate us and put us in a place that we're not moving forward in our life? Where have we been stagnant for several years, or where have we been stagnated by something that we have had the inability to overcome until now? That's what comes to a head and has been coming to a head all of these weeks. And so, because of that, we see more and more chaos. And, we think of chaos as something that is negative and stressful. And sorry, my camera is glitching a little bit today. That is negative and stressful. And we see, you know, something that, I'm sorry, technical glitch. The universe doesn't want me to be smooth here. Okay, there we go. Thanks, universe. So we see truth, but we see things that are scary because, there are things that we've been taught. You have to hold on to this for your stability. This is something that is essential to your survival. And even though our other side, our soulful side, our brain side thinks that, and our soulful side is like, wow, I really got to get rid of this. I got to change this job. I got to get out of this relationship. I have to no longer live in this environment, or I just have to stop doing a habit that I've been doing so long. And in this energy with the full moon in Taurus, it will create chaos in order for us to reach a level of intolerance. So we think, once again, what I was saying before the camera went off. So we think of chaos as a negative, and we think of chaos as something to avoid at all costs. But sometimes we have to sit in chaos, not to get entangled in it and not to be a part of it, but simply to watch it as an observer, as a witness. What is this showing me? What does this mean? What am I really seeing around me? And sit in that discomfort, not to allow it to make us unhealthy or be a detriment or a deprivation, but to sit in it simply as an observer so that we can see what it's showing us, where it wants to bring us, and how we can create change. I'm going to tell you a quick little story that happened to me last Thursday evening. Last Thursday evening, I had to do my my monthly volunteer that I do for my local breast cancer coalition, because I'm a survivor and I give back, and I do a Reiki and meditation circle for the ladies every month. And it's such a beautiful, beautiful thing. And I get so much from it because I heal in that energy, and I know that I'm in my soul space of what I was created and born to do. I'm a teacher, and not in the way that people think of a teacher. I'm not in a classroom. I'm not, a learned person with a PhD. I'm someone that teaches about life. And so my soul came in here to experience a lot of tragedy, a lot of triumph, a very intense emotional life, so that I could learn lessons to bring to other people. And that doesn't mean I have to get on a soapbox or have 100,000 viewers or anything. I don't. It could be that I reach one person at a time. Usually when I do a reading one-on-one with someone, or a Reiki circle like I'm talking about now, it's very profound for individual people, and that's okay. I love that can happen, because with each time it does, I learn something and I create more space to bring to others. It's not about me. I'm not like the healer of the century, or somebody who needs 20 million subscribers to get my message across. If I have helped one person in my lifetime, my soul was here for a reason. If I've helped myself evolve in my life, I've been here for a reason. So I do the Reiki circle, and we get there, and we do it in one of the apartment complexes by where we all live, has a beautiful community room, and we do it in there. They give us it for the night. So I walked in, and the backstory of this particular night is the day was changed. It was supposed to be later in the month, and it was changed. And I felt kind of badly about it, because I had a very good friend and a very good soul connection that was doing a special event that evening. And I wanted to go, and I couldn't because I didn't want to let the ladies down. So it was a choice between soul space and where I wanted to be. So I walked into the community room last Thursday, and everyone's standing around, which is unusual. Usually we put all the chairs in a circle, and I set up a table in the middle with little candles and crystals, and I go around and give Reiki. And there was a big table of a bunch of men, and they were playing poker. And so I walked in, and the coordinator, one of my very good soul friends, Terry, said, I got the night wrong. I don't know. I screwed up. They're playing poker. What are we going to do? She said we could do it in the kitchen. And they have this like kitchen that's maybe like about a 9 by 10 room, And I had like, gosh, I don't know. I probably had, I want to say maybe 12, 13 ladies there, maybe more, including myself. And I'm like, how are we going to do this to bring chairs in the kitchen? And they had, meanwhile, we opened the door of the kitchen. There's boxes all over, cabinet boxes, all these things. So we did it. And I took a moment as the ladies gathered and they all brought chairs in, those that were well enough to move a chair. And then we moved chairs and we took our circle. And I could see they were like a little uncomfortable that we were in this new space. And so I just took a moment. It was very, very warm in this kitchen with all of us in there. So I opened a window and I sat down and I said, let's just take a moment. And I just kind of went into myself. And I said, okay, Georgia, this is the embodiment of what you're teaching right now to people with the energy in the cosmos and the planets where they are. Adjustment. And I got to adjust. Okay. So what do I need to do here? And what is the universe showing me? And why did this happen today? Why did my soul choose to have this experience this evening? And I realized that this was a teaching moment. So I took a deep breath and I said to the ladies, sometimes when we're in treatment and sometimes when we're just, going about our day, something happens that we don't expect. And we have this expectation of how the day is going to go. And then something happens, just knock us off. And we can throw in the towel and say, okay, everybody go home. I can't do this. Or we can figure out the adjustment that brings us to the way. That is sometimes becomes even more meaningful. And I said, we walked in this kitchen and we did all this and then we sat down. I had to take a moment because I was getting a little agitated, to be honest with you, that this happened and I had to do this. And now what am I going to do? And little, that moment of insecurity, of panic, of I want to help these people, but I don't know if I can in this environment. And then I realized, oh, wait, there's a lesson in adjustment. There's a lesson and we're going to do it a little different. It may not be the same, but I can make this good. And I asked Spirit to come in and help me. So I said, sometimes when we're in treatment or we're just going through our life and we have this expectation how the day is going to go, it doesn't go that way. Something happens and it can knock us off and we can go home or we can go into the negative spiral or we can just adjust and keep going. I said, but the adjustment takes bravery and it takes going above and becoming a witness as to what's happening. If I stayed in it, if I stayed in the room, entangled in the chaos of the chairs being dragged across and the ladies trying to find a way to sit and squeeze and it being so hot in the room and I can't lay out my crystals and I have to engage energy somehow. And what am I going to do? Should I play my music? Because now they're outside playing poker and I don't know if that'll disturb and And instead, I just take a moment and I go above the room and I go above and I'm like, okay, it's not about the chairs moving. It's not about the heat. All of that is impermanent and temporary. But what's going to be permanent is the moment I create and the energy I create that stays out in the universe. So let's focus on that. Where am I being led and what do I need to do? And it was a real teaching lesson for me to learn adjustment in my day and not be rigid. And again, learning what we learn over and over and over again to be better at our lives. And how many times, like we're going through our day and, something happens, the minor fender bender, or get the call to pick the kid up at school that's sick, or, we don't have enough money to do what we need to do, or you find the way. And in that way, in that pivot, in that change, there is great reward waiting for us if we take it. And the other analogy I'm going to use is my yoga teacher, Jackie, if she's listening, she'll love this because she knows this is one of my things. Like I always learn so much in yoga. And one time when I was a beginner student, I was in a pose and doing something. I think I was like in, I don't even remember. It may have been warrior. And my hands were, a certain way. And Jackie came around and just moved my wrist. Not even like a whole thing, just like moved my wrist a half point, half turn. And said to the class, minor adjustments can give big sensations, like feel it, go into the sensation of the difference in the pose if you just do a minor adjustment. And I always, always remembered that and brought it off the mat into my life. And minor adjustments, I think one of the things that's very important during this Taurus full moon and into November is grounding ourselves also in moments of joy. And sometimes moments of joy could be, treating ourselves to a Haagen-Dazs ice cream or eating the bonbon or having 15 minutes to walk in the arboretum with someone you really like to spend time with. But it can also be something you give to another in a smile. The person in the grocery store who maybe is elderly and has their head bent, and you can see is just feeling certain energy that maybe isn't the best energy. And maybe you can strike up a sweet conversation with them, or give them a smile, or say, hey, do you need help with your groceries getting to the car? Or, joyful moments have rewards when we give them, not just to ourselves, but to others. And I think that's what is really the embodiment of Pluto going into Aquarius. It's all these other things too. It's pioneering and science and AI and technology and all these things. But I also think it's community and it's unity. And community and unity doesn't mean you have to go out and start a huge YouTube channel and create big community with classes online and all these things. Community means connection. And that doesn't have to be a permanent group. You can make connection with people in your daily life in moments, little moments, oh, wow, I felt the pixie dust there. And so that was my lesson. And so bringing that back around to this Taurus full moon, Taurus is ruled by Venus, a planet that tells us the things that matter to us, the things that are important to us, the things we love, right? It's also our belief systems, our core beliefs. It's the things that we like to do, we want to see, we want to feel, we want to touch. The senses are get ignited in Taurus energy ruled by Venus. It's love. Now, this full moon has some transits that are tough. For instance, Uranus is right there on this full moon, opposing the sun. This is an energy of sudden shocking change, and the energy will be ignited for the next couple of weeks that way. To me, that's why I say November into January is going to be a lot of instability, a lot of change, especially here in the United States. If you think that the people who are unhappy about the choice that the public made for president are just going to go home and live with it, and if you think the people that are unhappy about the choice are going to just go home and live with it, and the people that are happy about the choice are going to let the transition go without a big hoopla, you're probably not thinking straight. Because there's going to be a lot of energy around this changeover. It's going to be a lot of energy around the developments that happen between now and January. A lot. The world is changing at a very accelerated rate. If you watch my videos from COVID, the duration we were all sequestered, which I did in my living room with like no technology, and they're very raw. Sometimes I'm like, it's 90 degrees out in the summer and I'm just in a tank top, like commiserating with you guys. You can go back and watch a lot of them on YouTube in 2020, summer 2020. But one of the things I kept saying, and I stopped saying it because it was alarming people and because I didn't really understand what I meant, but this is all about a new world order. For the last 5 years, the energy in play in the zodiac and in the world is about a new world order. You're going to see countries change. You're going to see things become deregulated. You're going to see things become more unified, currency, boundaries, borders, people, communities. Pluto and Capricorn was about all top-down things. That's why those structures crumbled. Pluto in Aquarius is more equality. It's more about the power of the people. It's more about the unity of community. So the way we can do that in our own little lives is to give community to each other in very small ways. Have a dinner party, have some cocktails, have snacks, have a coffee club, and just connect with 3 people you really like. That's a community. Because the downside of that energy is communities can be exclusive and exclude people. And Pluto in Aquarius is going to be all about unity and no one left behind, no one left out. Everybody in, nobody out. So, as I said, around the US elections and around other things that are going on in other countries, Israel, Ukraine, Russia, Iran, you're going to see chaos because the chaos is created. So just like I said before, with bringing those chairs into the kitchen and the noise and the heat in the room, because we have to have those moments to understand where we're supposed to go, elevate above them, come out of them. But those moments swirl up the energy so that we can see, oh, wait, we're not supposed to be here. Where is this showing me where to go? Let me stop and say, oh, This is a moment meant to change. The chaos is happening so that we come out of it to change in our own lives, in the world, etc. And this full moon in Taurus is amplifying that energy because 4 days later, Pluto goes into Aquarius. The moon in Taurus is right smack up against Uranus, the planet that for the last 7 years has been causing a lot of the turmoil in our world, the sudden shocking changes, the things that are like, where the heck have I been taken to? It seems like it's so surreal. So think about what those themes have been in your own life and then bring forward the change that's supposed to come out of the chaos. Why did they swirl up the energy so you could change it? Right? Because remember, when two polarities come together and finally unite, it's the most potent energy that we could have because you've got two powerful, powerful sources of energy coming together. That can go either way, a negative or a positive. But if we put more positivity and light in the world, then those things, those changes that happen globally and also in our own little lives are positive. So get out there and create the change with the things that you're afraid to do. What has been a running theme in your life that has really come home to roost a little more lately? Can't ignore it anymore. You're getting more uncomfortable. Can't sweep it under the bed. Can't do anything to make this go back to sleep or avoid it. I'm telling you, this is a new world order and it's a new order in our own lives. And as 2025 progresses, that energy is going to be heightened more and more as we have many planets going into different signs. We're going to go from water and earth to fire and air. And the elements are self-explanatory. In water and earth, things were flooding, overwhelming us. Things were ungrounded, floating away, boundless, no boundaries. That has been the energy. Now, the next couple of decades, we get fire and air, ignition. Think about the evolution that we can use this energy for in our own lives, setting fire to the things that we dreamed about and finally breathing life into them with fresh air. So definitely take what I'm saying to heart. And if you think that a reading of your astrology chart will help, I know it will. I can tell you to talk to people that have had them. Astrology has been such an amazing benefit in my life. I almost feel like crying. It has opened up so many things. I'm taking a very immersive class now with a group of people from all over the world that is all about our charts and Pluto and all kinds of things. And it's just so beautiful. And I can bring that to all of you. So now I want to go into readings for each individual sign for the month of November. And we're going to do this via elements because I like to do that. That way we can group 3 signs together, goes a little quicker. So the first group I'm going to do is we're going to do earth signs. And our earth signs are Capricorn, Taurus, and sorry, I'm just shuffling. Earth signs are Capricorn. Did I say Taurus? Taurus, I'm sorry, because I'm just like, and Virgo. Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Earth signs. Earth signs have a little bit of sometimes a little stubbornness to them, right? So we're just going to do a card reading for you for the month of November. These are my Earth babies. Sorry, I was just looking at the chart to make sure I didn't miss anything about the full moon. Oh, and Jupiter also is in Gemini. So that's air, also feeding all this to us. Okay, my Capricorns, Taurus, and Virgos. Shuffling, shuffling. See what the energy is for you. What are your themes going to be for the month of November? Okay. My earth signs. Ooh, change coming for you. Upside down, we got the wands. So I have the Judgment card was the first card that we pulled. I have the 10 of Wands upside down and in reverse, and I also have the Grief card in reverse. So these were the cards that I pulled for you, my earth signs, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. The first card I pulled was the Judgment card. And in tarot, the Judgment card does not mean that you're going to have judgments against you. If you look at the card really closely, you'll see that it has people coming out of a grave, but they're like naked, almost like being reborn. And then the Archangel Gabriel is blowing his trumpet, showing them messages, and they're becoming alive. This is a card of rebirth. And what it's saying is that if you make the changes and a new world is coming, a new time is coming, new changes are coming for you, but you have to heal yourself and listen to the messages that you're receiving from the universe to make those changes. And then the next card that I got was this card, which is, I'm sorry, the Nine of Wands. And wands in the tarot are action cards. This card, when it's right side up, as you can see, is someone who has, gone to battle. He's got competition. There's people behind him that he has actually become empowered with. And you can see the new growth and the leaves on his staffs, on his wands, which means change. He's overcome the mountains. He's overcome the things. But the card was in reverse in this reading, which means that it hasn't been done yet. You still have some work to do, some competition that's competing with you to bring yourself to those changes, something holding you back. And what you want to do is make sure that you're taking action. These wands are action. And once you do that, you can reap the reward. But again, this card is upside down. And this is the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is a card of grief. If you can see, there's a river that this gentleman is looking out at. He's in a black cloak. But across the river, there's golden land. You can see the gold. You can see all the white light at the top of the card. This is very significant also of the number 5, which is a number for change. What it means is that you need to cross the river to get to the gold. You need to let go of all these cups and choices that are on the shore and just be brave enough to scale the river. And then you'll have everything that you need to do to change and reap the reward. The same with this card. You're waiting to make the activity. You're waiting to make the change, and you need to ignite it. That was for my earth signs, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. So don't stay in the waiting game, guys. You've got to, earth signs, you've got to definitely put that all forward, okay? Next up is going to be my, next up is going to be my water signs. Water signs are Scorpio, Aquarius. I'm sorry, Aquarius is an air sign. So water signs are Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, my water signs. Aquarius is an air sign. A lot of people think it's the water bearer, but it bears the water through the air. So my water signs, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. Let's see what I got for you guys. November for my water signs. Wow, they're all in reverse because we're all in a holding pattern. One of the things I want to say for everybody that's listening and beyond is this is not the time to make really big long-term decisions because of this instability I was talking about between November and January. You want to, lay your groundwork, but don't pull your triggers until for big long-term things. Definitely do your changes, make things happen, plan the move, start packing, but you don't want to, you can sell your home, but if you're selling your home to start a new life somewhere, maybe you sell your home now and you don't move until January. Or maybe if you are looking to start a new job, you put it in the works now and you start after the holidays. Like, don't stagnate, but don't make huge long-term decisions now. Wait, because the world is going to be so changed, especially financial decisions and things like that. Okay. So for you, my water signs, Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces, this was the spread that we pulled. First card that I pulled was in reverse. A lot of wands on all of my readings lately, which is action, because we've got so much acceleration going in the world. So this is the 10 of Wands. The 10 of Wands is a card of carrying other people's burdens. Because this came up in reversed in the reading, that is a sign to me that you have worked on this, that you're doing this. You're getting rid of the things that aren't yours. You're getting rid of the crap that isn't yours. You're throwing things back on the people that, it's their energy, not in an angry or in a detrimental way, but just saying, this isn't mine. I don't need to be in this energy. This is not my work to do. It's someone else's. I have my own work to do. And then if you look at the next card, which is the Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles, if you look at it, it's got the hand of God showing you the choice and showing you the direction that you should be in. Because it was reversed in the reading, it means it hasn't come to fruition yet, but you're getting there. You're working on it because I feel like this is something that's a work in progress for you, and it has to do with not carrying burdens that don't belong to you. And because this beautiful divine choice that is going to be handed to you, right? This is like one of the best cards in the deck. It shows that you have rewards and good things coming to you, but they're not completed yet. They're in the works. You're starting to get them now. And the reason I say that is this card, which is the Four of Cups, is a sign that Creator is showing you. If you look at the card, it's the cup is coming to you from a divine hand. You have a lot of choices to make, a lot of decisions to make. You're confused. You're not sure where to go. You go to the tree to kind of be introspective and contemplate the choices. And then messages come and you're handed the divine message of what you're supposed to do. So this for you, my water signs, is really all about a work in progress. You're letting go of the burdens that don't belong with you. You're tired of keeping track of other people's things and their work and their crap and all that. You are in the process of finally reaping the rewards. And once you are a little more in this process, you're going to see that the messages come and clarity comes and God gives you what you need, or Creator gives you what you need in order to make the changes that you're looking to make and really reach that full potential. So keep doing that beautiful work of getting rid of the things that don't belong to you, both philosophically, physically, if somebody has crap in your house that doesn't belong to you, and also just spiritually, and in order to live your life free from other people's drama. That's really what it's about, my beautiful water signs. That's Pisces, Scorpio, and Cancer. Next up is my fire signs, which is Sagittarius. You've got Venus in your sign right now and Mercury there. You're hot on fire right now, Saggies. I'm a Sag rising. So my fire signs are Sagittarius, Aries, and of course, Leos. And the other thing I wanted to mention and why we're going to see a lot of change this week coming up is that full moon in Taurus at 24 degrees is right on the MC, or the midheaven, of Donald Trump. So you're definitely going to see some change happening there. I'm not saying if that will be negative, positive, just there'll be activity in his chart. Okay. And Kamala chart, if you remember me saying, is very similar to his chart. So she's got the same kind of polarity points. So it'll be really interesting to see what happens. So for my fire signs, Sagittarius, Aries, and Leo, here we go. What are your 3 cards? Ooh, very nice. You guys really are on fire. I think you need a break though. Oh, yep, there it is. How funny, just as I said that. Okay, so my fire signs. So my Leos, Sagittarius, and Aries. This is the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is the queen resting on the throne. And this can also be for men. It can be male or female energy. The queen on the throne is showing you that she is accomplishing great things and tasks. Also, there's a lot of red and yellow in this card, which is fiery. It's a card of action. The Queen of Pentacles doesn't fool around. She is a boss witch and she knows what she wants. And as you all know, whether you're male or female, you have this energy. So take that with you, because this means you are definitely on the path of financial stability, abundance is coming, etc. However, some changes to be made. This is a card of surrender. All right. A lot of people will see this that read tarot, that don't have the positivity, will see this as a card of, oh my God, death. The 10 of Swords is not a death card. The 10 of Swords is a card of surrender. You're trying to control things too much. Queen of Pentacles, she's a boss bitch, but but sometimes too much, right? She's too much power, too much action. This is showing you surrender. Allow yourself to be shown things. Take a rest. And just as before I said take a rest, this card came up, which is the card of quiet repose. This means that your best ideas, 4 of Swords, is going to happen when you're in quiet. So take some time to rest, and the clarity that you need, that you're looking for, that you're scrambling around trying to find, will come to you. As you look at yourself in this particular spread, think about, what is it I'm trying to accomplish that I just can't seem to get to the end of? I can't seem to get to completion, because you got to take a step back, surrender, allow it to happen. Take some quiet time for yourself. Step out of it, walk away a little bit, and then go back to it. Because there is a completion of what you're trying to accomplish. But what I will tell you is, especially if it's love or money, you got to take a step back. All right. Now I'm going to go to, whoops, we did air, water, and fire. And now we're going, no, I did earth, water, and fire. Now we're going to do air. Air. I'm a Libra sun, so I'm an air sign. That's why I'm in my head a lot. Thank God I have some grounding going on. Okay, this is an energy where we can get really lost in our thoughts. So just know that, my little air signs. So, like me, let's see what's in store for me this week. Uh-oh, battling over. Okay. This is actually not a, oh my God. I just felt like I wanted to redo the cards. Aaron, if you're watching, you're gonna get this. Okay, there you go. So it's good. It's all good. So the first card I picked was the World card for my air signs, Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini. So Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini, air sign, the World card. What does this mean? Well, look at the circle. And in the circle, there's 4 points, each one representing an area of life: spiritual, emotional, financial, physical, that kind of thing. So what it means is you also see this beautiful angelic being carrying 2 scrolls or wands in her hand. This is all about balance, balancing the spiritual and the material world. And boy, am I working on that right now. So, neither one is right or wrong. What you want to do in an energy like this is realize what is your correct use of energy. That's what this is all about. Look at the circle. You've got a lot going on. We've got the spiritual, the material, the financial material, you've got the spiritual, the material, the emotional, and the physical, right? So you want to balance them all. This card shows that this is a battle for you, my air signs. If you put this card right side up, you'll see you've won the battle. You're victorious. They've thrown down their swords. This is in reverse, so you're in the process of doing that. You're in the process of balancing things. And air signs is all about balance, so especially Libra. And then we have the Tower card, which means everything falling away. Look at all the things coming out. This is like the crises in motion, everything going. But it's in reverse, which means it's probably already happened or is happening now for you. This is very indicative of Capricorn in the last Pluto in the last degrees of Capricorn, that earth sign that took away a lot of things from us. Everything fell away in our lives in order to create new. So for you air signs, this is about balance and remembering, like I said in the beginning of the podcast, what are you afraid of? What's holding you back? You want to go forward and evolve like this circle in all 4 aspects of your life and balance it. You're doing really well with that. You're activating things and you're embodying that energy, but you've still got some competition. Don't let those things that are competing with you going forward in your life stagnate you. Move forward. Because when you do, this Tower time of things falling away will be over. The Tower card is also an indication that maybe there are some things that you are throwing out the window and letting fall out of your life because you're taking control. And just like we have the theme in all of these readings was change, and it was getting rid of the dead wood, getting rid of the things that no longer serve us. And now I'm going to pick one final card to confirm all of our readings, okay? Earth, air, water, and fire. King of Wands. And it's so funny because the King of Wands is an Aries card. And this year coming up, we're going to have Saturn and Neptune at 0 degrees of Aries, which is the starting point of the zodiac. So as far as the theme of change goes, a couple of things I'm going to show you in this card. And for those of you learning to read tarot, I hope you're learning from my readings. The staff, remember, the staff and wands in tarot is action. You've got the King of Wands, which is got new growth on the staff, which is all the change, symbolic of the change in the world. The King of Wands is the leader of the change, the leader of the fire signs, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, okay? It's fire energy, breathing life into that which you want to accomplish, into your manifesting your dreams. He's got gold behind him, golden robes. And if you look very, very carefully in the photo, not only does he have the golden robes, but there's all flowers and new growth and abundance on these robes. He's got the crown on his head. And if you look at the scroll behind him, what do you see? You see the lion, Leo, right? There it went to, it just went into focus on the camera. You see the lion, Leo. And what else do you see? Do you see this portion here, right? This portion here almost looks like an arrow going through a sphere. Sagittarius is the archer, the arrow. So you have all of these things on the card that show the ability for us to change and use fire, use the fire element and the fire signs in our zodiac chart to change. And then the final thing is you have this little animal on the bottom, right? That little thing. And what does that look like? The long tail. Could be a scorpion. Could be some kind of little creature, right? That's symbolic of our fear. But look, he's towered over it. It's still there, but the King of Wands is brave, valor, victorious. The Leo, lion heart. The Aries, action ram. And the Sagittarius, archer, pulling back to hit their target more clearly. So we all want to be the King of Wands in these next few months. Use the embodiment of our valor and our courage in order to fight our fear and fight that Plutonian soulful scarcity. You know, we feel afraid to step into our potential because we've been conditioned to think stability and security is something that it's not. Stability and security is within us. If we use our own resources to create our life, then we have stability and security, because no matter what happens, we don't get knocked off that eagle's perch. And we can witness and see life from a higher perspective to find where the adjustment should be to create a new path. So that's tonight's Soul Space. Please, if you have not yet, subscribe to my channel on Zenkuda on YouTube. I also have social media on Facebook, Zenkuda Soul Space, and Zenkuda Official on Instagram. And if you'd like a reading, you can actually go on my site, zenkuda.com, and it will actually book your reading for you and schedule the Zoom call. When I do readings, I also record them so that you have the ability to watch that reading time and time again. You have it forever. I also not only do astrology readings, but I also do mediumship readings and life coaching. So you know where to find me, guys, and I'm here to help. And let's make 2025 the best year ever. We have actually, I think, 8 weeks left before it happens, or 7 weeks left before 2025 is here. So we've got 7 weeks to create change in our life, think about where we want to go, who we are becoming, and what we want to do. Thanks so much. I will see you next week on the Soul Space Podcast. Bye-bye. Hi, everybody. It's Georgia Rose from Zenkuda, and here is our beautiful new website, zenkuda.com. So I want to show you a little bit and give you a tour of this beautiful site that we have. And everything is all in one place now, and you can do everything Zenkuda right on our website. So when you log into the homepage, there's a little space here where you can go right to Zenkuda Astrology, online classes, or book a reading or coaching session with me. Not only do I offer astrology readings and coaching sessions, but I also do tarot work and all kinds of things to help you get in touch with your own soul space and living Zenkuda. There's also a place here where I describe my journey and what it was like for me to actually found the Zenkuda community and be able to bring you all of the healing techniques that we do and the philosophies of evolutionary astrology, spiritual wisdom, and yoga. And you can read about what my journey was like. And in addition to that, if you go on to book a reading, you can actually book a reading for any session that you really would like to have. For instance, a 1-hour astrology chart reading, a tarot card reading. I also do synastry chart readings for couples. And I can also do a long distance healing meditation and Reiki session. And you can even purchase our Circle of Light Oracle cards, which were created by myself in order to put healing and light into your day. If you go back up There's also a space where we're going to be putting our online classes. Those will be very, very soon. If you'd like to be informed about those online classes about astrology and spirituality, yoga, all sorts of things, you can join our wait list and just give us your email and we'll be sure to let you know exactly when classes will be starting. And this button here brings you right to the Soul Space podcast. You can now watch the Soul Space live or past Soul Space podcast right on our zencuda.com page. You can listen to them on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or on YouTube and enjoy every minute and never miss a show. So I hope you'll look at this beautiful website. I'm also writing blogs about my journey, and we're in the process of importing all the older blogs that I've written in the last 5 to 10 years right on our Rose blog page, which is my beautiful blog. And you can, anytime you want, just come in and read all about my own journey to finding Zencuda. If you want to work with me in a small or large group, or book me for reading, or doing a gallery style reading or a public speaking event or even a retreat, you can do that on our Work with Georgia page. And hopefully we can help you create your future with some coaching or some astrology workshops. So that is our beautiful zencuda.com site. I hope you'll be on there. We're also developing a space for community on there where you can learn more about astrology and spirituality and all kinds of things, and we can support each other on our beautiful journey to finding our own soul space and living Zencuda.